We'll close out today's lecture talking about this new paradigm that you're learning, a new way of thinking about your programming called object-oriented programming. Now, this is often called OOP. You'll hear it referenced that way. Fundamentally, this is a method for organizing programs and for organizing your data that leads to really nice data abstraction. And so like the data for each character sits like in a bundle for each character. But also really important here is that we can bundle together information and behavior. These classes that we create, which are basically your own types, can not only have data, which are the attributes, but they can also have methods, which are functions. We'll talk much more and look at examples of class methods in lecture 25. But we see, and as we saw in Python Tutor, that each object, so each instance of our class, has its own local state that we can now update and play with. So for our gaming example, let's see how this is useful. By putting everything into these bundles that are tied to each particular character, we can have our characters kind of interact in a certain way and have the state of each character update. So here I created 3 characters. We have Woody, Picky, and I had to pick a name for this person here, and I'm calling her Slashy because she has this like katana thing. And so we have all 3 of our characters represented here. What I can do is I can represent an attack. So Woody attacking Picky. Let's say that the way we're going to do attack is a character has a certain strength and they're attacking someone, and the damage that they deal is the difference between the attacking character's strength and the person being attacked, the character being attacked, their defense. So the higher your defense, the less damage you take when someone attacks you. The higher your strength is, the more damage you do when you attack someone. And we can represent this like this. So before this attack, Picky.health prints 100. But then we can calculate the damage by taking Woody's strength and subtracting Picky's defense. And then Picky's health becomes Picky's health minus the damage. That was just done. So here we print 93. This is already kind of nice and an improvement that we can now refer to each character by and their attributes and update their attributes and have bundles of live data. But what really makes object-oriented programming powerful is class and instance methods. And this logic here of saying, this is what I'm going to do when one character attacks another character, can actually be bundled in with our class definition so that we can make a call, something like Woody.attack, and we'll pass in Picky. And the logic for how to handle an attack is defined as part of the class. Rather than being some other function over here on the side, we could take this code and put it into just a function on its own, but by making it into a class method, we get a really nice bundling of all the functionality related to a character with the data tied to each character as well. And that's something that we're going to talk much more about next class in lecture 25. And that's what will really make this approach of object-oriented programming powerful. With that, we'll stop for today, and I'll see you for lecture 25 to close out the topic of classes.